Hey, let me ask you something. If your country is poor, people are struggling, and the economy's not working, why don't we just print more money? I mean, what's stopping a government from giving every family, say, $100,000? It sounds simple, but this is one of the most dangerous ideas in economics. And today, I'll show you why.
Hi there. You are watching Mind Fuel.
Let's imagine a dream world. The government prints money and gives everyone $1 million. Suddenly, people are buying Teslas, iPhones, designer clothes, flying business class. No poverty, no struggle. It's a celebration. Life feels perfect. But now, a loaf of bread costs $500, gas is $200 a gallon, rent is $20,000 a month. Even with $1 million, people can't keep up. They're technically rich, but their money is worth almost nothing. That's what happens when you just dump money into the system. It feels great at first, but it ends in disaster. Here's what most people miss. Money isn't valuable just because it's printed. It has value because we trust it can be exchanged for real things, like food, services, and goods. Let me simplify it. Imagine there are 10 pizzas in a town, and 10 people, each with $10. Everyone gets a slice. Fair deal. Now, the government gives everyone $100. More money, right? But still only 10 pizzas. Now people start bidding higher. That same slice? It now costs $50. Maybe more. Prices shoot up, not because things became more valuable, but because money became more common. That's the root of inflation, and this is how inflation starts. Inflation means prices are rising and your money buys less. There are two main reasons this happens. 1. Demand pull inflation, when people have more money and demand more goods, but supply stays the same. Prices go up. 2. Cost push inflation, when production costs increase. Think gas prices, labor, or raw materials. Businesses raise prices to survive. Either way, your $100 starts buying less, maybe just $70 worth of stuff. Mild inflation is fine. It's part of a growing economy. But when it spins out of control, it becomes hyperinflation. That's when prices double in days or even hours. Let's see some real-world disasters where this happened. Let's talk about Venezuela, a country that had it all. The world's largest oil reserves, free education, healthcare, everything. Life was good, especially under President Hugo Chavez. But there was one big problem: everything depended on oil. And when oil prices crashed in 2014, boom, the economy tanked. So what did the government do? Instead of cutting spending or fixing the system, they started printing money, and that triggered one of the worst cases of hyperinflation in history. By 2018, prices were rising by the minute. The local currency, the bolivar, became so worthless that people stopped counting money and started weighing it. Grocery shelves were empty. Hospitals had no medicine. Millions fled the country just to survive. And on top of that, politics made it worse. President Maduro stayed in power, while the opposition declared a new leader. Countries like the US imposed sanctions. The country went into a full-blown crisis. Venezuela is the perfect example of how relying on one resource, printing money, and ignoring warning signs can destroy even the richest of nations. Now let's go to Zimbabwe, a country that literally printed a $100 trillion note. And people still couldn't afford bread. After gaining independence in 1980, Zimbabwe had strong farming, good land, and a promising economy. But things went downhill fast in the 2000s when the government seized commercial farms. Food production crashed. The economy collapsed. To pay government workers and fund programs, the solution was, you guessed it, print more money. By 2008, Zimbabwe hit 89.7 sextillion% inflation. That's not a typo. Prices were doubling every day. People went shopping with bags of cash and still came home with nothing. Imagine paying $50 billion for a loaf of bread, and then it costs $100 billion the next morning. Eventually, the government had to abandon its own currency and switch to US dollars. But the damage was done. Hunger, unemployment, and mass migration followed. Zimbabwe is living proof that printing money doesn't fix an economy, it kills it faster. Now let's go to the history. Rewind to the 1920s, World War I Germany. After the war, Germany had to pay massive reparations to other countries. And how did they plan to do that? They printed money. At first, it helped. But soon, inflation spiraled out of control. By 1923, a loaf of bread cost millions of marks. Workers were paid twice a day because their salaries lost value by lunchtime. People carried wheelbarrows full of cash just to buy groceries. And sometimes, money was cheaper to burn for warmth than to buy firewood. Eventually, Germany introduced a new currency, the Rentenmark, and stabilized the things. But by then, the damage was done. The middle class lost their life savings. Trust in the government disappeared. And that economic pain helped set the stage for radical politics in the years that followed. Germany's story is a brutal reminder that printing money might delay pain, but it always ends in disaster. When governments print money endlessly, it destroys people's trust in the currency. Banks fail, foreign investors leave, and people hoard essentials. The poor suffer the most because they don't have assets to protect them. It's not just a money problem, it becomes a survival problem. But don't rich countries print money too? Yes, the US, UK, Japan, they do print money. But here's the key, they do it carefully. It's part of a policy called quantitative easing, used to support the economy during a crisis. It's regulated, monitored, and reversed when needed. They're not handing out free money randomly, it's done under strict controls. Now this might surprise you. Japan, one of the most advanced economies in the world, has been printing money for years. Its national debt is over 260% of GDP, and yet, no collapse. No hyperinflation. No crisis. So what gives? First off, Japan has the opposite problem most countries do. While others worry about inflation, Japan has long battled deflation, prices falling too much. People spend less, the population is aging, and demand is low. So printing money actually helps. It pushes prices up to keep the economy moving. Second, and this is big, over 90% of Japan's debt is owned by its own people, not foreign countries, not outside investors. So Japan doesn't owe the world. It basically owes itself, and that's a huge safety net. Third, the Japanese yen is trusted globally. In fact, during financial crises, investors run to Japan. They see it as a safe haven. So even when Japan prints money, people still want its currency, and it doesn't lose value overnight like Zimbabwe or Venezuela. And one more thing, money doesn't move fast in Japan. Economists call it low velocity, meaning cash changes hands slowly. So even if there's more money in the system, it doesn't flood the market or spike prices. So yeah, Japan can print more money without collapsing, but that's because it's managing a rare and delicate balance. Low demand, trusted currency, internal debt. That's not magic, it's disciplined economics. But why Japan isn't the rule? Now, just because Japan managed it, doesn't mean every country can. Japan is the exception. Most poor countries don't have strong exports, global trust, or financial discipline. Printing money without production is like filling a fuel tank with gasoline when the engine's missing. You'll just burn the car. So why don't we print money? Because it doesn't fix poverty, it just hides it temporarily. You can't print real value. You have to earn it. Real wealth comes from working economies. People building, farming, creating, exporting. Countries that grow through production and innovation succeed. Countries that try to cheat the system by printing, they collapse. What countries should do instead? Here's what actually works. Invest in infrastructure. Educate the population. Encourage small businesses. Promote exports. Build trust in public systems. That's how countries like Vietnam, South Korea, and Singapore rose from poverty to global players. No shortcuts, just real growth. So the next time someone says, why don't we just print more money? You'll know exactly why it's a terrible idea. Zimbabwe tried. Venezuela tried. Germany tried. They all failed. Yes, Japan did it right, but they're the outlier, not the model. If you were the finance minister of your country, would you print more money? Or fix the engine first? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if this video made you think, like it, share it, and hit that subscribe button for more. This is Mind Fuel.